Hey guys, so I'm going to show you real quick how to use SurgeGraph Flex, specifically how to use the new article optimizer template that was just added. Okay, so first you want to log in to your SurgeGraph account and then head over to SurgeGraph Flex. And then you want to click on this new workflow button. And then you want to click on the article optimizer template, give a name to it, and then click on create. Okay, and then you want to click on this edit or execute button. So to execute this workflow, you want to click on the execute button. Okay, and then here you want to enter the target keyword or search query of the article that you want to optimize. So let's say mine is pillar page. And then what you want to do is click on this arrow button here. So here you will see a custom variable that needs to be filled in, which is your article URL. So I'm just going to paste mine. Okay, and then of course you can customize the reader intent and the author. And then you can go ahead and fill in the next article that you want to optimize. So same as before, you want to fill in your target keyword here, click on this button, and then paste the article URL. And then if you check on this apply all button, it will apply the same settings to all your subsequent inputs. But if you want to customize each to be slightly different, you can uncheck the box here and then customize as you want. Okay, and then you want to scroll all the way down. Oh, before that, make sure that your mode is on the live mode instead of the test mode. If you're on the test mode, make sure to click on it to toggle to the live mode. Okay, and then once you're done filling in all your details, you can fill in more if you have more articles to optimize, or you can also import a CSV. And then if you have more than 6, you can just click on add row. Okay, and then you want to click on execute. Okay, and then these two are currently running. You will see the state right here, and then once it's done, it will turn green and the output will show here. This should take a few minutes, so let's just let it run. Okay, great. So now the executions have successfully completed, and then the outputs are here. If you click on each link, they will open up to your article, which will be in the Vertex dashboard. So here's the first one. So it took the URL that I gave it, and then it basically optimized and rewrote it to be better. And then here's the second one. And there you have it. Next, I'd like to go over how I set up the workflow so that you can understand what happens when you run it, and also how you can customize the workflow so that it suits your needs better. So let me just zoom in so we can see better. Okay, so first we start with the input block, and then we have the research and starting point node. So the research should always connect to another research block. Right now we only have the SERP research, so I connect that with the SERP research block. What the SERP research block does is that it scrapes the Google SERP for your given target keyword and gets the headings and the keywords from the top 10 ranking articles. We'll try to add as many headings and keywords from the top 10 articles into your article when we write it. Okay, and then so for the starting point node, I will connect it with the first step of my workflow, which is scrape URL. So pretty straightforward. What the scrape URL block does is it gets based on the URL that you feed into it, it will scrape the content of the URL and then return it in Markdown format. So that's where you feed the URL for the article that you want to optimize. And then the output from that here, this node will be connected to the next step, which is auditing and summarizing the article. So this is my prompt. You can actually see my prompt by clicking on edit. So here's my prompt. So I give it a few instructions. What I asked it to do is to analyze, audit, and summarize the content of the article, and also come up with suggestions on how to improve the article. And then as you can see below here, this is where we will paste the article that is meant to be optimized based on the scrape URL step. And if you want to, you can actually customize my prompt so that it better fits what your use case or what your needs are. Okay, and then I will then get the output from this step and then connect it to the next step, which is to create an outline. So again, you can see what my prompt is. So I ask it to use the audit results and the summary to create a outline for the article. So you can go ahead and look at my prompt and then customize it if you want to. And then from the outline, I then go on to my next step, which is to generate the article. So what you'll see here is that I connect the output of the outline to several different blocks. So the reason why I do this is because if you use AI, you would notice, but it has like a limitation as to how many words it can generate at once. So instead of asking it to generate a whole article using one single prompt, it will probably generate only up to 1,000 words or less, which is not helpful for longer articles. So what I do is I split the task into several different ones. So for example, I split it into creating a title here, and then the introduction, and then headings 1 and 2, headings 3 and 4, headings 5 and 6, headings 7 and 8, and so on. So you can see what my prompt is. This is the prompt for the title, and then the introduction. Again, you can customize if you want to. And then this is the prompt for the headings 1 and 2. Okay, and then after that, I will combine these separate inputs into one input. So I will use the merge block, which combines all the inputs from these blocks into one single output. So that's why I connect these outputs into the corresponding input node, and then output into the long form, which is the final article. And then the title also has its own node, so I connect the title block with the title node here. Okay, before that, I'd like to show you that we have the LLM model blocks. So if you have a custom prompt or anything that needs an AI model, you will see that they have an LLM model node. So what you can do is you can choose which AI model that you want to handle that specific prompt or that specific task. So for example, for all of my tasks, I chose to use the OpenAI GPT-4o model, just because I think it handles, it follows instructions better, and the generation quality is just the best. So yeah, I connect this OpenAI model block to all the LLM models for the content generation, the outline, the title. But again, you can customize this. So for example, if you have OpenRouter and you want to use the OpenRouter model for, let's say, the outline step, right? So you can just go ahead and drag that here. Okay, let's zoom in a bit. Okay, and then you want to click on Manage, add your API key here, and then you can choose which models you want to appear in the dropdown. So OpenRouter has like close to 400 models. So if we were to show all those models in the dropdown, it will be very overwhelmingly long. So you can choose like which top models you want to appear in the dropdown. Okay, I'm just going to choose random ones, and then you can choose the models you want here. So let's say you want to use OpenRouter Optimus Alpha. So just click on that. And then you want to connect the LLM model to the block that you want OpenRouter to handle. So let's say it's our outline one. So I'll just connect there. And you can do that for all of the other blocks as well. So for example, for this audit step, maybe I want to use Gemini or so I can just connect this to here. And then you can save the workflow and then execute per usual. Okay, so that's how you use the article optimizer template in Flex. If you're running into any trouble or you have any questions, feel free to email us at hello@surgegraph.io. If you have any other tutorial videos that you want us to do, feel free to also let us know. Hope this was helpful, and thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.